We're Bash Bros movies, and it's been a while, like 2 months, good 2 months.
I have no clue.
I remember last time we did the movie review, it was, we said that we would come back in October, but, you know, due to unplanned activities and work and whatnot, it's November. So, this is our first video in I guarantee you 2 months, man. So that we're actually recording, but what better way to start getting back on track with a great movie, Bohemian Rhapsody, man. I mean, this is one of those movies that it's been in the works for a while, not just this production, but even before that, and it's one of the movies that music fans, not just fans of Queen, it's just the music fans in general have been, I would dare say, waiting for a while, because Queen is one of those bands that left a huge mark on a lot of generations, not just the 80s, but even 90s when we were growing up. Like you can see here on the shirt, man. I mean, that's probably the first time I actually heard Queen, you know, if I would to venture a guess, but you know, just...
Well, if your memory served you well, which we both know it doesn't.
I don't know, man, but it serves me better than you think, actually, so I don't know, but...
Let's not test out the theory, shall we?
Yeah, man, it's not my fault that you remember things wrong, but you know, speaking of remembering things wrong and stuff, you know, the band itself actually, you know, halted production on this movie. It's been doing it for years for whatever reasons, and I don't know why. I don't know how much of the story exists. You know, there's always, you know, those certain aspects of someone's life that you can never be sure about what they did in certain situations. And you know, when you were growing up, you know, and then you listen to the music, you hear the song Summer, or what's this band, you go check it out, you hear, you know, We Will Rock You, or, you know, Bohemian Rhapsody, you hear, you know, We Are the Champions, like, you know, pretty much every, you know, championship finals game or whatever, you know, depending on what sport you watch and depending on, you know, who thinks that, you know, just playing the song is appropriate or not. And then, you know, you start, you know, hearing from people, reading books, reading stories, especially with internet, man. You know, it's like, you know, there's a lot of articles, you know, about Freddie Mercury's life, but it's like, you know, it's like generally growing up, you know, his story. And I would dare say that this movie documents it well, which is, you know,
I would concur.
And especially for PG-13 rating, you know, when they announced that this movie was actually, you know, that was lit, that was, you know, official, they definitely starting production on this movie, you know, I always wondered whether they would be able to show the aspects of Freddie's life, you know, dark as they may be, will they be able to show, not just show them, but portray them, you know, because you don't necessarily have to show something in order to portray darkness or happiness that someone is going through. So, you know, and Bryan Singer definitely, you know, I mean, proved himself as a director over the years. I mean, from all the movies that he's made, just like, you know, Queen, he's one of my favorite directors, okay? It's just, never mind whatever he says on Twitter and stuff, but as a movie maker...
I don't tweet, so I have no idea.
But
you know, there was a controversy.
Yeah, whatever, issue, man. But you know, it's like...
Don't really care.
When you look at his movies, like, that dude is versatile, you know? It's like, all of his movies, like, they don't fit a certain genre, you know? It's like, he does this, he does, like, you know, starting with the Usual Suspects, you know, going to, you know, Apt Pupil, and then to X-Men, and then, you know, everything else in between.
And his take on Superman as well.
Yeah, Superman as well.
So there's always a Bryan Singer-ish element to Bryan Singer's movies, which actually is the reason why he is one of my favorite directors.
Yeah, that's, you know, what I said.
Like, so from Jack the Giant Slayer to Valkyrie, that's all the stuff that he worked on. So you knew that he's gonna bring a certain element to the movie that's gonna make it. Rami Malek's portrayal of Freddie Mercury
Yeah, they
is what stands apart in this movie.
agreed 100%.
Like from start to finish, you don't see him, you see Freddie Mercury on screen. That's how good he is. But I will say that the way Brian directs it, the way he shoots it, the way the camera works, brings out the best in it. Brings
Okay,
out
yeah.
the best in his performance. He shows you the right angles at the right time. Just the way everything is cut together.
Well, I think a lot of that has to do, with the certain way, Queen was portrayed over the years in their, in their concerts, in
Which makes
music
the whole
videos.
experience that much more authentic.
Definitely, definitely, and they were definitely true to the era. They were. And Rami Malek, man. Watching that guy over the years in some small stuff, and wondering like, is this like this kid is good, but he always plays these roles that don't necessarily like they require acting, but they're not really serious. Just I don't know.
Well,
But you
I
see him
haven't
in stuff.
followed all of his work. I'm yet to catch up on Mr. Robot. Probably I will at some point, maybe ish. You never know. But there's certain roles that he did that he kind of feels out of place. Like he wandered into a wrong set, and they're like, "Well, you're here, might as well keep you." The thing about Bohemian Rhapsody, that's not it. Like this guy, I heard somebody said it, and it's very, very true. He was made to portray this role. Now I don't know whether he did the actual singing or not.
Dude,
I have no idea. Maybe he did parts of it.
maybe that one scene, but it's like I doubt.
Hey, I have
man.
no idea, man.
Maybe
But-
he can sing. I don't know.
We don't know. Yeah, exactly. But he is on point. Like I said, at no point do you see him on the screen. You see Freddie.
Yeah.
That's how authentic it is.
Yeah,
And you're probably gonna hear like a lot of stuff, praise and being heaped on this movie or not. It's actually worth it. The hype, if he has a hype, I don't know. I'm not keeping up with what's going on in the movieverse, other than watching movies. The hype is well deserved. Like this movie, you can go see it and you're gonna enjoy it, no matter what type of movies you generally like.
Yeah.
Thinking like, should I watch it? Should I not watch it? Go watch it.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Yeah, definitely. Not just for the music, but it's like, the stories behind some of the songs, and, well, at least 2 or 3 of them. But, just the way his life, dude.
Not just his life, because the movie, while it is Freddie Mercury centered, it does actually revolve around Queen.
Yeah.
Not Freddie Mercury. But, like we said, Robbie's portrayal of Freddie is so authentic that it just kind of steals the show, which, not to take anything away from the rest of the cast. I don't know who the casting director for the movie was, but they were on point. In every single role. They nailed it. It's just generally, it's come Oscar time, this one's gonna get a couple of nominations.
And we're definitely
And
doing an Oscar
probably
video,
a couple of wins. Like at this point, I'm penciling in whether this happens or not. I'm penciling Robbie as the winner for the best male performance, because nobody tops that. I think Ryan Gosling did pretty good because we discussed this.
Yeah,
Ryan Gosling
off-screen, but it's
pretty good.
We're definitely gonna talk about it in our Oscars prediction video, and definitely we're gonna touch
Well,
on
I
it.
want to be able to say, like, the November 4th, I kind of said this was going to happen. So, like, if it does happen, I can be like, back in November, I did say it's going to
Because when we walked out of, not walked out of the movie, but when the movie finished and then we walked out of the cinema, when we saw the first man, I said, dude, Ryan Gosling, like the only guy who can top him is Rami Malek with Freddie Mercury, but we haven't seen the Bohemian Rhapsody at that point. And so, first man review definitely coming up soon, if it's not already uploaded. But, after watching this movie, I can honestly say, like, whoever gets nominated, I think they're gonna lose to Rami Malek because, not just looking like the guy you're portraying, but then, just nailing down the moves. And then last scene at Live Aid concert, man, I'm wondering how many times you had to watch that performance, because you can see that performance on YouTube, man. Like, that concert
It's
is on YouTube, okay?
Slide 8.
Yeah, so I'm wondering how many times he had to watch it, how many times, you know, he was singing and dancing and just making those moves, man, because, dude, that's like, when you see him on stage, that dude is just so, you know,
Authentic.
yeah, yeah, and watching the movie, you literally feel like you're on that stage, man, or at least in front of that audience. You,
Oh, yeah.
like, man, Bohemian Rhapsody, what's the rating, man?
I don't know, how high is too high? Like, it's generally 25, 6.
I would have to.
Like, I'm not going any higher just because it's like not on an epic scale of like this movie is epically good. But going any lower than 25 just doesn't seem justified. Just because it's that good.
Agreed. I concur. 25 out of
It's
30.
good.
I think
It's definitely
that's
worth.
pretty solid, and you
It's
know,
worth the price of admission. That's for sure.
yeah,
You're gonna get a show. You're gonna get a good movie, and you're gonna be really into it. Time's gonna fly. That's how good it is.
yeah. Definitely, man. Definitely.
That's it from us.
Yeah,
Till next
for
time.
today, yeah. Bash Bros up.